All right, guys, here is the final lesson on writing the proposal essay. Finally. Very excited to get through this lesson. It's not even long, it's not long slides. As you can see, this one only has 8. The last two only had about 11. These are not long lessons. They're very short lessons. But I say a lot of things. So let's get started. Okay, so of course this is what you'll learn, and we always start with what I am promising that you will learn. You will learn how to organize and draft the final 2 sections of the proposal essay. And the final 2 sections I should have mentioned are the benefits of the plan and the conclusion, right? Of course, you're going to need Writing Today because why? I take all of this information from Writing Today, so you can follow along. Pen and paper for notes because that way you'll learn it better, and whenever the module closes, you will have your notes. So, quick review. Again, this is the outline of the entire paper. The introduction, the problem analysis, the plan for solving the problem, the benefits of the plan, and the conclusion. We are here and here. If you have not done the introduction, the problem analysis, the plan for solving the problem, and seeing the video that I did last week on kind of what you need to know about the profile essay before you start, or how to start the profile essay, including the research, stop this video right now. Go back and watch them all. Why? Because you would have missed something. And I don't want you to miss anything because I want you to do fantastic on this essay. So go back and watch. And if you've already watched, you can continue. Okay, so let's talk about benefits and conclusion. These two are the shortest sections. Oh, I'm so happy because you were probably thinking, oh my gosh, you have 2 sections that have multiple paragraphs. I mean, them by themselves could be their own papers, and now we have 2 more sections left. Chill. These are the shortest sections. Why? Because they're a paragraph each, and they're not even long paragraphs. They're short paragraphs, okay? So they are short sections. So in the benefits paragraph, you will talk about how much this plan of yours are going to cost and where will the money come from. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this, so chill. I don't want you to start taking out Excel spreadsheets and using calculators. This is English. It is not math. So just chill for a second. And of course, you're going to write a conclusion. Of course, you know what a conclusion does. I'm going to add this caveat to the conclusion part. Of course, a conclusion for this particular essay looks into the future and stresses the importance of taking action. If we don't solve, for example, if we don't solve mental illness on college campuses, the world will end. It won't, but don't be that dramatic. But we're looking for something like that, right? So let's talk about it. I know this slide says it's all about the money. Chill. Okay? Chill. You do not have to use an Excel spreadsheet for this. Do not put like charts and graphs in your essay because I'm not going to look at them and they don't count towards your page count. Sorry. So what you're going to need to do is investigate how much it will cost to do your plan. Again, now remember, this is theory. So you could use like a general amount. Like it will cost $50,000 to fly in Beyonce for an afternoon to talk about mental illness. Okay, it may cost more money to fly in Beyonce, but you know what I'm saying. Just a general amount, how much it's going to cost. And when you're talking about cost, you want to also talk about where is this money going to come from? Is this money that the schools are going to pay for if you're doing like anything at a school? Is this taxpayer money? Is this money from a grant? You know, maybe there are grants out there that could pay for that. Are you going to do a Kickstarter? So people can just donate money to get this project done. Those are viable solutions to the cost thing or the question of where the money is going to come from. When you're looking at costs, there's some things I want you to think about. Costs, like the starting costs, stuff like supplies and equipment are things people don't think about. Yeah, it costs money to like mail things. It costs money to like make copies. So you want to think about supplies and equipment. You want to think about like employees and effort and time. Those are, you could put a dollar amount on employees. So maybe like we create a new position for whatever, how much is that going to cost? It's $50,000 salary plus benefits, right? Or maybe 20,000. We can do it for half. We can, hire a college student, whatever, right? So you want to think about that effort and time. And, if it's something like it's a volunteer activity that you're wanting to do, then you want to say, hey, this could be really good if we can get 5 people to volunteer 20 hours a week to get something done. Like, you want to think about that as well. And you want to think about the return of investment. And that's something that, like, again, this is not business school. You're not getting your MBA here. Well, if you are, you're not getting it from me because I don't teach those courses. But you want to think about, if we do bring in Beyonce for $50,000 to talk about this, what is going to be return on that investment? Is it really going to bring awareness to mental illness on campus, or is just everybody's just going to get a free concert from Beyonce and they're just going to go along their merry way, right? So maybe bringing Beyonce for a concert on campus for $50,000, which, by the way, again, that's too low for Beyonce, but we might not get the return on the investment that we think we would want to get, right? So you want to think about that as well. Again, this is all theory, but these are questions that you really want to ask and answer as well. So if you do think that bringing Beyonce in for $50,000 or $1 million, which is probably her going right now, is actually going to do what you want it to do, then say, hey, I think this is $1 million well spent. And that means, maybe we don't have financial aid for a year or whatever, or maybe we do something else. I don't know. But I want to see that you've thought about it. And the conclusion, yay, conclusions are awesome. Why? Because they're the end. So you really want to restate your main point and what your thesis is. And we talked about thesis in a previous lesson, so you know what a thesis is. You know what a thesis is for this particular essay. So if you haven't seen that video, you should probably go back and see it. You can re-stress the importance of the topic. It's important when we talk about mental illness for college students on college campuses, and should say why. You want to look into the future. What happens if we do address it? Do we have a much more healthy citizens that go off and do healthy things? Do we start creating generations who understand, who are emotionally aware and emotionally healthy? What does that look like? And then the goal of this conclusion is to wrap up quickly, much unlike this video, which is already 9 minutes and really long. So let's look at the structure. Again, these are paragraphs, so there's not multiple paragraphs in this section. So the section only has 1 paragraph per section. So you're looking at two paragraphs, one for the cost and one for conclusion. So I anticipate that your cost paragraph will be longer than the conclusion paragraph in most cases, depending on what you are proposing as a solution, right? And I want you to remember the basic structure of a paragraph that we learned in week 1, because I'm looking at those structures for the sections that only have 1 paragraph. So your introductory paragraph, your cost paragraph, and your conclusion paragraph, all of those are 1 paragraph. So that I'm not saying 1 together, no. I'm saying those are 3 paragraphs, or 3 sections, 1 paragraph each. That's what I'm saying. And so I'm looking at the structures of those paragraphs. All right, 10 minutes, done. Hope it was helpful. Let me know if it isn't, and we'll talk soon.